like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Boruto episode 147 review. Alright guys, this episode was definitely an amazing episode. One of the most surprising episodes of Boruto thus far in my opinion. And it was just because of Shoujoji's plot twist at the end. I think no one really expected this to happen. No one at all. At the end, it was pretty much revealed that Kokuri actually died in the little scuffle underneath the water, and Shoujoji used his corpse clone jutsu to take over Kokuri's body. Now I do want to point this out, and this is going to be a very, very big life lesson for Boruto, and I don't even think that Boruto is going to actually learn to find out that Kokuri actually died at that particular point. But the thing that I do have a problem with Boruto and the rest of Team 7, they play with their food. Boruto hit Tsukiyo off of the cliff, and he didn't even check if Tsukiyo was actually dead. Tsukiyo could have landed on his feet for all Boruto knew. Now in my opinion, I think that should definitely be a learning experience for Boruto, but the sad part is they didn't really reference to that in the Boruto episodes. I think that's probably not going to be a learning experience for Boruto, man, because they just didn't necessarily hit on it, and they didn't really make a point of emphasis in the actual episode. Now during this particular part, I do want to point this out, it really looked like Boruto and everybody else was going to lose. In the spoilers, it did say that they were going to be back into a corner and then something was going to happen. Now, they pretty much had Kokuri help them out. Kokuri was actually useful in this episode. I don't even know why, but in the last episode, I thought Kokuri was completely a lost cause, and that makes me a little bit sad, man, because he did die in this past episode of Boruto, but regardless, he wasn't a lost cause. He came up with an idea to defeat the Shadow Clones, and he actually executed that plan to perfection. I mean, he was still kind of annoying while he was doing it. Like, while he turned the light on, he was yelling. Like, why are you yelling? I personally thought that one of the members of Team 7 would have realized that, hey, the clones might be susceptible to light, and then they'd probably try to do some lightning style jutsu to probably have them disappear, but that wasn't the case. They even did lightning style in the actual episode, and it didn't really have any effect on the shadows, and that right there really surprised me. But regardless, I do want to applaud Kokuri for stepping up in that particular moment, mainly because none of Team 7 actually realized what exactly was going on. Now, at the end of everything, you feel me, they pretty much beat Tsukiyo, which we found out was Shoujoji. We'll get into that later on. And then the guards come. Now backup arrives. Now during this backup, we've seen various Hidden Leaf Shinobi. We even seen Sai. The one character that we did not see was Konohamaru. Now, I think I'm just going to start losing hope at this point, because I don't know what Konohamaru did to the riders. Dog, maybe Konohamaru's voice actor tried to steal one of the riders' wives or something, but he is being absolutely shafted. He's being written out of the story. Like, Team 7 went on a whole mission from the actual Boruto manga, and he was nowhere to be seen. Like, on my moms, all they had to do was have Konohamaru show up as one of the reinforcements. They literally had random ninjas show up as reinforcements and not the literal Team Ninja. That right there just got me so mad, so pissed off. I don't even know who I should be even more pissed off at, Konohamaru or the Boruto Rise, for just not putting him in that particular point. Like, Konohamaru didn't have to do anything. He just had to show up. He didn't even show up, and they better have a very good excuse for why my guy Konohamaru did not show up in that particular situation. If they don't have a legitimate excuse for why Konohamaru didn't show up, all hope in Konohamaru and his character and him possibly being anything good in this anime and this whole series of Boruto. He could possibly change. He's gonna have to make some drastic, I mean big drastic changes for me to put more faith in him, and I just really hope they have some sort of excuse and some rationale about why Konohamaru was just nowhere to be found, especially when the reinforcements came in. Now, I spoke about in one of my previous videos how the Boruto Rise didn't really do a good job of character development in a lot of their previous enemies, and I think the character development of Shoujoji was absolutely impeccable in this episode. We found out that Shoujoji was actually the person in Tsukiyo's body this whole time. Now, this is going to be some sort of big trust issue situation inside of the Mujin Bandits, man, because we thought that Tsukiyo was going to be the number 2 of the Mujin Bandits, but it turns out that it was Shoujoji, which pretty much means that Shoujoji killed his number 2 and took over his body to possibly just kill off some random Kokuri guy, or hey, maybe Tsukiyo and Shoujoji had a disagreement and then Shoujoji had to do something like that. But just off of the rip, we see how effective that corpse clone jutsu is, man, because no one really thought that that was actually going to be Shoujoji. A lot of people in the jail cell thought it was actually Tsukiyo, but not only that, where we're seeing that it was extremely effective was when Shoujoji took over Kokuri's body. Now, at that particular point, I could have sworn that Sada was going to use her Sharingan and then see some sort of difference in Kokuri's chakra, but that didn't happen. I think that's really a bad side to Sada, man, because she has the Sharingan, but she rarely, I mean barely uses the Sharingan, and that right there gets me so annoyed with her character. Like every single time that we seen Itachi, he always had his Sharingans on. It was extremely rare when he did not have his Sharingan on. And of course, same thing with Sasuke when he did go rogue, or not necessarily rogue, but when he did leave the Hidden Leaf Village. And in this situation, it's like Sada just did not inherit that gene. Maybe it just hurts for her, maybe because she's not a full Uchiha. Now, changing the subject really quickly, there was a real serious tone throughout this whole arc, just the suspense, and I think it was really highlighted towards the end of the arc, well, towards the end of the Hozuki Castle arc, where 2 people actually died. This has been a very big point of criticism for a lot of fans out there. No one dies in the anime of Boruto. Like literally hardly any enemies, and damn sure hardly any good guys actually die. In these 2 past episodes, it seemed that 2 people actually died. Banga died and Kokuri died, and Kokuri was a good guy. We spent this whole arc pretty much protecting Kokuri, and then he ends up dying. 1000%. If this was like 50 episodes ago, they would have found some way to save Kokuri's life. Kokuri did a transformation technique. It is one and only technique that he actually knows, and Kokuri is actually alive. But nah, in this particular episode, it seems like Kokuri actually died. Banga actually died. Like Banga did not move, and of course we didn't really see him at the end of the episode when they showed everybody else fraternizing and having a good time and rejoicing. And in my opinion, that definitely speaks volumes about the direction that the Boruto anime is actually going in. But all in all, it was definitely a very good episode in my opinion. Just slightly, I thought it was going to be animated a lot better, but it was like, I wouldn't necessarily say regular animation. Of course it was like above average, but I thought it was going to be absolutely insane minimum because the last one kind of lacked an art style. But regardless, this was definitely a very good episode. Majority of you guys enjoy what you've seen, and of course the next episode is going to be flat out manga content. Everything that we've seen in chapter 11 is going to be happening in the next episode, and I'm extremely hyped for that. Stay tuned for my opinions about the next episode and what should be happening. But of course, it's been your boy Barby, and we out.
It's a knife.